You understand the real threats our country faces. It's allowing the AMC network to shoot a reality show about the Department of Homeland Security with appearances by Janet Napolitano. Let's ask former Assistant Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Robert Liscouski. Nice to see you this morning, Robert.
Hey, good morning, Clayton. How are you?
I got to ask you, would you do this show?
I would. It's not a bad to have to start burnishing the public image of Homeland Security. People really need to understand how tough the job is.
Okay, that's one thing, and get to see how our government actually functions, but is it a distraction? When you have Janet Napolitano making appearances on camera, which she inevitably will, other high-ranking officials, cameras in their faces, is that a good use of their time?
Well, at one level it is, right? She's the chief reputation officer, the brand officer for the department. She runs the department. She needs to put a good public face on it and get the message out there. I would worry about how much time she's actually going to spend doing it if it is distracting. But, I've got to believe that they'll manage that. I hope that, the time that's spent there is really talking about the big issues and the big challenges that they have there.
Okay, so some of the big challenges, the big issues that they face, and a lot of that, let's be honest, Robert, is secretive. Do we want this information out on a reality television show so anyone around the world who's planning any sort of attack on the United States could be watching this show, picking up any little tiny nugget of information that could be used against us?
No, of course not. I think you're right. But I think they'll edit that very carefully, and they'll be very, hopefully, very controlled about what information actually does get across. And I think it's important also to create the perception that we've got really good programs going out there, and more of the perception than the reality. I think, it's fitting that the producer of this also did dirty jobs. I think this is probably the dirtiest and toughest job in Washington, so, people do have to understand that.
Is there enough information to make this show exciting? Because there was another show that ABC attempted that actually flopped because of its lack of excitement and interest. This show is going to start filming this summer. I mean, look, I think we have got some courageous people who do some great intelligence work in this country, but sitting behind a desk on the phone, does that make for some exciting television?
No. I mean, most counterterrorism, most law enforcement work is probably 99% boring, maybe interrupted by some moments of sheer terror. I don't think it's going to be particularly exciting, and really, home security is not about just DHS, it's about the state and local level. If they get down deep into the story and talk about what's going on at those levels, it could be pretty exciting.
Or if they do a crossover episode with the Housewives of New York City. We'll see if that actually
could work.
That actually could rock. Robert Liscouski, we'll look for your appearance in the show if they call and ask you. Thanks for joining us on Fox and Friends.